just like Michelangelo into the blue on heavenly wings. Cargo ham bones don't take off, no smoke, no mirror, no strings. I can't take off these dark shades. I can only say how it's too beautiful. Our town on TV. Our town, there's you and me. Upside down, hanging out of an airplane.
Welcome to Our Town, and I'm your host, Larry Frost, and I'm with
Annmary, Amesbury Council on Aging Director.
We have a great show for you today. We're going to go to Newburyport to meet Major James Purvis. Him and his family will be getting transferred to New York. That's all I can tell you about the show. And the second segment will be going to
the new transportation center where the senior center is, and I heard that you got great shots of what they call the footprint, the concrete foundation.
I didn't know what they called it.
That I've learned, so yes. The footprint. So it's great.
In the third segment, we'll be going to the Lieutenant Derek Hines Memorial Bridge. And in the last show, we had these real high piles that were probably 40, 50 feet high. They've been cut down, and it looks really nice. And you see all the scoops dropping the dirt off with nice country western music.
Nice.
So let's get started. Welcome. We're here in Newburyport at the Salvation Army with Major James Purvis. How you doing?
How are you? Good to see you.
Fine, thank you. We've had James on a couple of times. One was a Christmas special, and one was with Win Damon on WNBP. But this time he's got some news to give you.
Yeah, Larry. We found out about 3 weeks ago that we're going to be transferred to Elmira, New York. So me and my wife will be heading back to New York. It's kind of bittersweet. It's not what we'd like, but it comes with the territory, and that's kind of how we go. So,
how many years were you here?
We were here for 6 years in Newburyport. Actually, it's kind of ties our longest stay. We were 6 years in Yonkers as well. So.
Yeah, and I think 2 other stays in New York.
We were in Hornell, New York for 4 years. We were in Buffalo for a year, and Troy, New York. We were 3 years there before we came up here.
You had like an exciting story when you first came here.
Yeah, one of the biggest things we had, I think it was either a year or 2 into here. It could have been a year. It seems a long time ago. People who remember the Woodman Way fire out there. That was kind of my introduction to Newburyport, and I've done disaster work before. Down in Homestead, Florida, during Hurricane Katrina, floods out in North Dakota, and then just recently the hurricane down in New Orleans. Mm-hmm. I was down in Mississippi for that, and then also 9/11 was down there. Oh, wow. So I've been familiar with emergency disaster work for the Salvation Army, and kind of everything kicked in. There, of course, people in Newburyport and Amesbury, I'm sure, remember the one apartment building being completely destroyed. Mm-hmm. And one thing I didn't recognize at the time was that there's not only low-income people who live there, but there's also people who own condos and everything right in that building. Yeah. So it kind of hit both sections of life up there. And we were able to, we had people who would call and want to donate furniture, like whether it's couches or bedding, beds, dressers, and I'd keep a list. I'd have a whole notepad of different places of people who called me up. And then when the people who were, when they finally got a place to live, what I would do is ask them what they needed, call the people back, pick that up with some volunteers that I had, and then we'd go over and deliver it to them. So it worked out. It was a great thing, but for 2 or 3 weeks straight, we were out.
Flat out, right?
Yeah, flat out trying to help people out.
Before we go into thank yous to other people and stuff, one time we were talking, you had mentioned the donations and stuff, how it goes right to our community.
Yeah, one of the things that when people donate money for the Salvation Army here locally, whether you're in Amesbury, Newburyport, in the surrounding areas, whatever rate is raised here stays here. Mm-hmm. Even when they get the mail from our office in Boston, you'll see it'll say in care of Newburyport, even though the address is down in Boston. That money is designated to come back to Newburyport, and that money is used for us. And we really, the only money we get outside of the local income that we get from everybody here is we get about $15,000 from the government that goes towards our rental assistance and fuel assistance, and also we get about $2,500 of that $15,000 for food. And so what everybody gives here, that's what we count on the most, because we really don't get state and city.
And the other side of the coin, though, they know the money's going to stay in this area too.
That's right, yeah. And that's one of the things that I think we have that's kind of to our credit, is that we can designate that money to where we need it the mm-hmm. most. And if we see this month where more people need it for fuel assistance, we can get people fuel assistance. If they need more rental assistance, we can do that. The same way as whether it's food or even keeping the building going, because as people know, the Council of Aging shares our building here, so we have to keep the lights and heat going in the winter, and air conditioning in the summer. We're going to need that.
It's about 90 here.
90 here, and maybe 100 inside the chapel right here. But we need those funds to continue the efforts of the kids programs that we do, and also the different meal programs that we put on. So it's not just for Christmas time when people see us out there.
And the other thing I want to touch on is your faith. And how many people come to on Sunday and services like that? Yeah,
our faith, the Salvation Army, background is Methodist, Wesleyan background. It's William Booth founded the Salvation Army in London, England in 1865, and came over here in 1880, and we've been here ever since. And we've just celebrated 125 years in Newburyport.
Wow.
So it was last year, or earlier this year, or something like that. I think it was last year we did it. People are going to say, "Oh, you forgot," but yeah, it was.
But there's a big
year.
Sign out there.
There's a big sign. It was last year, because now the sign is in the gym. But it's I think a credit to what we do in the Salvation Army, because we're not just here today and gone tomorrow. We've not just when we get enough money, then we uproot and go somewhere else. We've really planted our roots, mm-hmm. and we're here to stay. And we have the church services here that we do on Sunday at 10 o'clock, and then it's followed by Sunday school at 11:15. We have a music mentoring program for kids who come here. In fact, one of our kids that come to our program, Josh Bacon, they have a Star Search competition. And he won the Massachusetts division, and on level 2 music, yeah. And he's going to actually represent Newburyport for the whole Massachusetts division when we go to New York. Actually, we're going to go to
That's
New York.
New news.
Yeah, we're going to go there tomorrow. So to New York and take Josh down there. So we're excited. And I didn't let you know about that, but that's there's always something happening here. Yeah. And we're excited and happy to give Josh the opportunity. Gives him him and his sister. His sister's going to come along too, but wow. They'll get a chance to see just what the Army does, because it's the whole Eastern Territory, yeah. which is from Maine. For us, it's from like Maine down to Pennsylvania, across over to Ohio, and I think we go as far as like down to Delaware and that.
So you'll still stay in the same district?
So we're still going to be
compete against Newburyport next year.
Yeah, if we have kids there. But the thing is, I'll be looking for the kids in the area from Newburyport and see if they come, and maybe we'll be able to see them down there in New York.
I just want to say one thing also. Wynn Damon has talks the utmost praise for you and your wife and what you've done to the Newburyport area. So I just want to pass that on.
Yeah, well, we appreciate it. I'm going to really miss Wynn and WNBP and their support and everybody in the community. I can remember doing football games with Wynn on the radio. It wasn't just promoting the Salvation Army, but it was. I remember one of the times he asked me, he says, "Hey, would you think about doing a football game with me?" And he says, "Richie Eaton can't do it this week." So I said, "Sure, I'll do it." And I've been on radio before, so it's like so we had fun and kind of he did the color commentary, and I just did a little. I did my part. I think I did all right. They kept inviting me back.
That's good.
And in fact, one of the last games I did was over in Amesbury, and it was. It was an interesting game. It wasn't good for Amesbury that night, but to be able to do my last game in the area, that was neat, and it was just a pleasure to be able to do those things. And I can remember sometimes even being on the halftime show, he'd see me there at the game and say, "Hey, come on in, and we'll put you on for halftime." So Wynn, thank you very much, and Carl and Pete and everyone there for helping us out.
WNBP family.
Yeah, the WNBP family.
They were nice for us too.
Great job that they did for us, and everyone. Richie Eaton is another one that really we connected really well, because one of the things I did. My son was still he was in 8th grade when we came here, so he was in senior ball.
Okay.
And Richie. Actually coached his senior ball, and he probably started the league. I know he's been coaching for 50 years, Richie, but he was there, and I ended up coaching. We coached against each other, but it was a fun time, and what a wonderful experience I had here in Newburyport, and the different experiences that, it wasn't just about the Salvation Army, even though that's my job, but it was also trying to give back, and we were able to give back in so many different ways, and that's what it's all about.
Well, you have a great personality, so as a point man for the Salvation Army, I hope you can draw a lot of souls, and I know you do well. I mean, I'd like to say wish you luck, but that sounds kind of corny. But I just think your abilities and everything you taught in the past. Thank you for coming on the show in the past. Yeah. It's been really nice. So I've been really glad. I always wanted to sit down and talk to you more and more. Oh. And I thank you for your faith too. There's
thank you, Richard.
Not that there's not a lot of people with faith, but I mean, you show it and you bring it right to the table.
Yeah, that's and that's why I think we're able to go, even though it's bittersweet. The Army has asked us to go, and we found. When we're willing to go where God wants us to go, He opens the doors. We meet new friends. We, anything that's in front of us that needs to be knocked down, He knocks it down, and He just asks us to be faithful, and that's what we do.
What an attitude, huh?
And if we're faithful in it, it's just like. Grab a hold and hang on for the ride, because
I should have hung with you more often a long time ago, so I could have had a better attitude.
But it's been an enjoyable ride, and my wife, I couldn't do it without her. She's a wonderful lady, and
you do the PR work, and she does the bills and stuff.
I do the PR, and I do the fundraising, and she does the social service part, and. We've did that a long time ago, and we try not to mix that, because I'd probably give away the store, and she'd probably spend away the store. But we do very good working together, and I think we make a great team, because we did a good thing here, and we're looking to do that wherever God places us.
And you will. Thank you. That's it from the Salvation Army in Newburyport. On to the next segment.
All right. God bless.
God bless. Welcome. Today is June 8th, and we're at the Nicholas Costello Transportation Building site. So let's take a tour. Well, that's it from the Nicholas Costello Transportation Building site. On to the next segment. Welcome to this segment of Our Town. Today is June 8th. We're down by the mighty Merrimack to revisit the Lieutenant Derek Hines Bridge. So let's take a tour. Well, that's it from the Mighty Merrimack, Lieutenant Derek Hines Memorial Bridge. On to the next segment. Welcome back. Hope you're really enjoying this show with Annmary today, and she's going to discuss Amesbury Days. It's coming up probably the day that this show is released, but still it's a whole week of fun and festive.
There is, and here in Amesbury, this is the 13th annual block party I saw.
Whoa.
I know, June 30th.
I was a little kid when it first came out.
Yeah, 13th, Larry, 13th. So anyways, here right behind us at the gazebo will be a band playing, and there'll be some great fun and music kicking off on the 30th. And then on the 1st is the Brew Fest, and then the 2nd is the townwide yard sale. And then the 4th, of course, we have the 4th of July fireworks. And then, my favorite, which is July 7th, is the annual Senior Citizen Cookout.
Wow.
But there's a whole lineup of different things going on, so we invite you to log on and check that out, or pick up a brochure. Yeah, come down, have some fun, and enjoy it. What a great town we have. And thank you, Larry, for doing this great show called Our Town.
And I want to thank you for doing Gray Matters.
Yes.
Which is, I think, right after Our Town on Thursdays.
It is. So they get us twice today.
I know, great.
I know.
Thank you very much for watching, like I said last time, but I really want to have you work hard, stay healthy, and please take time to care for someone. From Our Town, bye-bye, we're out of here, right?
Yep. See ya.
Have a good week.
Just like Michelangelo into the blue on heavenly wings. Cargo ham bones don't take off, no smoke, no mirror, no strings. I can't take off these dark shades, I can only say how it's too beautiful. Our town on TV, our town, there's you and me. Upside down, hanging out of an airplane.